Speaking of dedication to service, World War II Navy Admiral Chester Nimitz said of our veterans, "We have a solemn obligation, the obligation to ensure that their sacrifice will help make this a better and safer world in which to live." While Mesquite has always been one of the safer communities in North Texas, we know we can always do better. That being said, 2014 saw the first graduating classes of the Mesquite Police Department's Police Training Academy. This new academy puts Mesquite in select company. How select? Well, less than 4% of all law enforcement agencies in Texas have their own training academy. This academy is led by Police Chief Derek Rohde, allows us to attract top candidates from throughout Texas and across these United States. As a result of our continued focus on law enforcement, Mesquite residents are safer, with burglaries down 18% and thefts down 11%. We also enjoyed continued excellence from our fire department. Led by Fire Chief Mark Kirby, the department continued to keep response times low despite nearly 18,000 emergency calls last year. In addition, the department invested for the first time in PET oxygen masks with the help of the community, guided by Mesquite residents Christina Bennett and Danielle Riley. And speaking of pets, I want to take just a moment to praise our animal control workers. These city employees thought, well, outside the dog crate, to help displaced animals find their forever homes. For example, this past holiday season, they created an angel tree to help new pet owners defray adoption costs. They also hosted the inaugural Empty the Shelter Day that led to 74 dogs and cats being adopted right here in Mesquite. Their efforts, by the way, caught the eye of Seth Fredrickson, who used his Eagle Scout project to build cat towers and a photo station that allows the staff to take adorable pictures for our adoption website. This dedication to service by Seth and the shelter staff has led to a 25% increase of rescued animals getting that forever home. As Animal Services was herding cats and dogs, the Mesquite Independent School District was herding students. Helping to lead that roundup for the past 43 years was our very own superintendent, Dr. Linda Henry. And tonight it's with a heavy heart that I report that she is leaving us at the end of this year. With more than 40,000 students on 47 different campuses, Dr. Henry did a marvelous job of making sure they all had a wonderful educational opportunities. She has steered us through the budget storms in Austin, navigated the ever-changing state testing requirements, and guided the rapid growth of our diverse student population. As a result, the district has earned statewide awards by producing high achievement with cost-effective operations. I have always admired Dr. Henry and the entire school district staff as they endeavor to balance each student's education with activities. One example of this balance is recent graduate Malik Jefferson. While excelling on the football field, he earned enough credits to graduate early, and he is now enrolled at the University of Texas. His football coach, Cody Groves from Petite High School, describes Malik's talent as undeniable, adding that he is a better person than he is a player because he places others first. His strong character attracts respect among teammates and classmates. And of course, Malik had a lot of support from his family, who are here with us tonight. So Malik, will you and your family please stand so that we can recognize you? Now, Malik got one up on me tonight. He presented me with a football earlier before I could ever get up here and recognize him. So you can see how competitive he is. Although Malik chose to continue his education in Austin, our high school students do have the opportunity to continue their education right here in Mesquite. At Eastfield College, they can earn a 2-year associate's degree. And until last month, that was as far as they could go here in Mesquite. However, Columbia College just established a presence here and offer junior and senior level courses which allow students with an associate degree to transition directly into their bachelor degree programs. A final note here on Mesquite residents and their dedication to service. We have some amazing individuals and organizations that really make Mesquite not only a nice place to live, but a great place to call home. And several of them are celebrating milestones that demonstrate their long-term dedication to serving our community. Last year, KEOM, managed by Peggy Brooks, celebrated their 30th anniversary of broadcasting in this community by having their talented students earn 11 international radio awards. And Sharing Life Community Outreach, led by Director Teresa Jackson, celebrated its 15th anniversary. They began with a small clothes closet, but now fill a 21,000 square foot facility offering food, clothing, utility bill assistance, and so much more. This year, the Hispanic Forum of Mesquite, led by Rachel Lopez and President Linda Highwood, will celebrate a decade of raising money to help local high school students attend college. In celebration of their 10th anniversary, I worked closely with Mesquite Police Association's Don Williams and Mesquite Fire Association's Jeff Dillon, as well as AB Rental Car owner Frank Severa and lifetime resident Punch Roy to raise additional scholarship funds at the annual Hispanic Forum Gala. Frank, Don, Jeff are here tonight. Would you please stand so we may thank you for your generous support? Please stand. Mesquite AMBUCS also raise scholarship funds. And because their mission is to give trikes to people with disabilities to facilitate greater mobility and independence, their scholarships are for students majoring in physical therapy. One member in particular goes that extra mile for his fellow man, or should I say that extra frequent flyer mile. You see, Karl Thomas, an AMBUCS member, is also a licensed pilot. His personal mission is to help those in need. So allow me to let Karl share his exciting story.
I wanted to learn how to fly when I was a kid, like a lot of folks did, and got my private license back in '73, flew for a couple of years, got back into it 7 years ago when my first granddaughter was born. About 5 years ago, a friend of mine suggested that I look into doing angel flights, and I did not have that many hours when he first suggested it. About a year later, I had enough hours to qualify to be a pilot. He and I went and did a mission one day, and I've been doing them ever since.
Well, I've known Karl Thomas for a little over 5 years through AMBUCS. And Karl's one of the most dedicated members that we have. Anytime we have to build a handicap ramp for somebody that doesn't have access to their home anymore, Karl is always there. He is very dependable, very reliable, and very selfless of his time and his resources.
It's a lot of fun helping people out. I've flown Houston, San Antonio, Tulsa. I picked up a lady in Tennessee and took her to Tulsa one day. The first one actually flew was a 10-year-old and his mom. I've flown several kids. Those are always fun. It's a very expensive proposition to travel, obviously, and it's a long trip in a car can be very tiring to folks, whereas an airplane ride an hour down to Houston it doesn't take a whole lot of stress. And so I do that just to provide a service and have fun to fly. I enjoy flying. I try to do as much of it as I can, and that's just another real good excuse.
Tonight, we are joined by Karl Thomas and his wife, Melanie. Karl, thank you for ascending to those unbelievable heights of giving. It's neighbors like Karl and Pastor Rod Brewer and Angie Johnson that make Mesquite such a great place to live. Will all three of you please stand so we can thank you again for sharing your stories with us tonight? Please stand.